I mean, there's a reason why Wendy Williams rarely talks about her brother Tommy. But can someone explain why, on the other hand, he's always talking about her? Is he like many other people, just riding on Wendy's name and trying to make money from her? And has he gone too far this time and actually stolen something from her? Yeah, yourself, you don't want to talk about the things that I know about you, okay? So for the longest time, followers always speculated that something was terribly wrong between Wendy and her brother Tommy. But things became pretty clear when Tommy accused Wendy of failing to attend her own mother's funeral. What would make somebody not go to their own mother's funeral? I don't understand how a person can miss out on giving a salute to the one person who was always there, always show support. Well, Tommy definitely made it to Hot Topics after those claims, and Wendy did not hold back. Mommy, I was at Mommy's service, and she looked beautiful in her casket, and that you this fought a loving member of our family, half your age. Wendy did clarified that the person Tommy fought was not her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., who she shares with her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter. But she said Tommy started a fight right over her mother's open casket. She then said that the men of the funeral home had to stand in front of the casket and block it, so her mother's body wouldn't fall out. Show. What a mess anyway. When Wendy called out Tommy and told him to stop talking about her life, he once again called out Wendy for being selfish. There's an emptiness. Because of you, because of your selfishness, mental health, I get it, grief. I get it. I'm grieving to the nerve, other than talking about Wendy. Let's just say that Tommy is also more than happy to earn a few coins in paid interviews about Wendy. Just recently, he told the U.S. Sun that they had a birthday party for their dad, and that Wendy was a no. Show, in his words, the focus never seemed to have gotten back to family, and particularly my dad. And that's the travesty in all of this. She's caught up in what everyone else is caught up in, and how her life is panning out. Just be a family member, just be a daughter. But I guess she's not going to be either. I guess she's going to be a show host. But a nice role would be a daughter, because our parents have done everything for us. Tommy did actually say that Wendy not showing up for the party was painful. In addition, Tommy also questioned the status of Wendy's supposed podcast, which he's been talking about for nearly a year, now saying there is still nothing new on the podcast front. So I don't know what her focus is. Everyone has their own choice on how they want to break their bread. And if she never wants to work again, that's fine too. She's in that position. And that wasn't even the first time Tommy did a paid interview about Wendy's life and her neglecting her family. Back in November 2022, he also gave another exclusive, saying that Wendy had abandoned her dad. Tommy also said that their dad would be 92 in February of 2023 and that he's in great shape. So Wendy is really missing out. According to him, it was more painful because November was the month of their mother's passing. And yet Wendy had not progressed with her relationship with her father at all. He also said that he couldn't understand it. But it was really Wendy's loss. It just feels like Tommy was waiting for February so badly, just to give another interview and rant about how Wendy is not showing up for her family. And for someone who rarely talks about him, I have to admit that Tommy has been doing a lot of spilling on his end. For instance, when Wendy said that she didn't want to get the covered shot, Tommy weighed in on her choice. I've noticed, that in the choice of Wendy not wanting to get the vaccine, I encourage people, if you don't want to get the vaccine, please continue to watch your proximity. Please stay vigilant. In another instance, when the Wendy Williams show had guest hosts, after Wendy stopped hosting, Tommy also had something to say. I know you're weighing in on the hosts that are on there right now and how things are being handled. I don't have anything to do with anything, don't care to. I'm on the outside, looking in just like all of you all. And I have my thoughts. And my thoughts are it ain't nothing like Wendy. Also, after Wendy got out of rehab, Tommy once again did an entire video on YouTube to give an update on his sister. I did speak with Wendy. She's stabilized. She's doing all right. I can't give all the blow-by-blows, I told her. I'll never precede her voice through the show a couple of months. After Wendy left rehab, Tommy was once again happy to give an update and even said that he didn't like the people she was hanging out with in an interview, which I'm assuming was paid by the Sun. He also said I was right there with her during the dark times many moons ago. And I think about this constantly. She's going back to times before she was married. She's going backward. You're going to find some 18 or 25-year-olds to hang out with. I saw photos of her a little while back at some club. What is she doing? Living her life. At one point, Tommy also went on another rant about Wendy refusing to let her son, Kevin Jur, into her penthouse. Tommy claimed that her son flew up to New York to spend her birthday with him. But upon arrival to her house, she didn't let Kevin Jur in. Okay, just take a look at his page on YouTube and check the live section. There are so many videos about Wendy, like a lot. Well, if you ask a lot of people, they will tell you that Wendy is just tired of people chasing cloud in her name family, or not. She's just done with people trying to profit from her situations and struggles. Like Wendy is already dealing with so much with her ex Kevin Hunter, who took her to court claiming that his monthly payments, which were made by Wendy Williams, as agreed to in their divorce, suddenly stopped in February 2022. He lost the case, but Kevin was asking that the court ordered Wendy to make the payments as contractually required. She has also had to deal with Kevin's girl, Sharina Hudson, who has mocked Wendy literally at every opportunity. She's been given. Wendy has also had to deal with Wells Fargo freezing her accounts and basically losing control of all of her finances. My thing is that I've been asking questions about my money. And when I began asking questions about my money, suddenly Lori Stiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair, and Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair. On top of that, she's also had to deal with her son, who has been depending on her, but is now struggling because of her situation. Kevin Jur was already evicted from his $2 million Miami apartment and hit with a lawsuit for $70,000 in back rent that Wendy could no longer pay for him, allegedly due to medical and legal reasons. And now she has to deal with a brother who keeps taking paid interviews to talk about how she's neglecting her family. He literally said in one of the interviews, "I'm frustrated because as days go and days go out, the absence is the big monster in the room, and all Wendy has to do is show up. She wouldn't have to do anything, say anything. Don't come bearing gifts, just be a family member." Some of y'all may say that Tommy is just looking out for his sister and he's just trying to get her to go home. But if that's the case, why is he taking paid interviews to say such things? Why is he doing so many videos about the situation?